What is up, everybody? It's me, RDV, and I'm here again, once again, with Eric Breen for the top 5, where we talk about the new comic books coming out tomorrow, and tell you us what we're looking forward to, and then maybe kind of predict what we think is going to be our favorite books of the week. And we also talk about the trades as well. And if you haven't done so, please click like and subscribe. Let us know down in the comments down below after the stream what you thought of this. Actually, if you like what books you're looking forward to, and if you even, honestly, let's leave a comment. Let us know that you exist. Like, I feel like not many people leave comments down below unless they're angry. So if you are angry, leave more comments, complaints. We'll get to them. What is up to Jay? What's up, man? What's up, Ballistic Dude? Evil Black Cat, Desert Rose, Marania. It's great to see you. I don't think I saw you at the Extreme Movie Show review, which you just did about 5 minutes ago. Did Maltese Falcon over there review. Check it out. What's up to Brian? And yeah, anybody else who's just tuning in? Quite a few books want to come out this week that I'm looking forward to. I had to narrow my list down just to 5. It's just kind of tough. But if you're not getting the books I'm getting, then it's tough to get 5. So if you're a Dragon watching over on Twitch, what's up? That's right. We're streaming to Twitch as well, the Geeky Puppet Show. So, oh, she says I was there for the Maltese Falcon. Just didn't comment. Well, I don't know if that's true or not because you didn't comment. But no, it's great seeing you though. You know, Evil Black Cat, you click dislike all you want. It still counts as interaction. So the fact you're watching this still is an interaction. All right. So, Mr. Breen, we need to address something that was brought to our attention earlier today in Sports Hall by one Jay Lucian about a rumor that DC might be relaunching their Batman and Superman titles after Hush.
That's
and with their announcement of Dan Slott coming and working on a Superman book, we just got about like a week or two ago. It only makes sense that they might be kicking Joshua Williamson off, or he might be leaving. Who knows? Most likely kicking off, and Dan Slott is taking over the title, which will be a shot in the dick for DC. Pretty much, they'll become Rick Comics, or just they'll drop the D and just become C Comics. Because honestly, I don't want Dan Slott on an ongoing Superman book at all. Give him Elseworlds. Bendis exceeded better on Elseworlds books these days than he does on actually stuff that he can mess up and deconstruct and destroy. And with Christos Gage being well known as being the better writer of the duo when it comes to the writing, I think that I don't want Dan Slott on a title that's been doing well. Batman being relaunched after Hush. I'm not sure who's taking over, but both comic books are going back to issue number 1. Unless you're gonna do a rebirth thing and you're gonna put good writers on these books, I don't even want that. And even then, I don't want to relaunch it at 1. It's bad enough that you guys keep doing the legacy numbers and then relaunching and then doing that. So it's like you wonder why people go to manga because it's the same person on the book all the way through. You know,
there's one reason why they do this is because the people that care about legacy numbers are the same people that they've been trying to drive out of the hobby for the last 10 to 15 years. As for the Superman relaunch, if it is going to be Dan Slott, it just proves that nobody shoots themselves in the foot with greater consistency than DC Comics. They didn't learn from Bendis. And Bendis is a much bigger name and much better thought of in the industry than Dan Slott will ever be. The only book you can put Dan Slott on and have any kind of sales at this point is Amazing Spider-Man, because the adjective sells the book.
Mm-hmm.
The next closest would be Batman, because Batman is a perennial seller. It's like you can have you had Alan Moore and Neil Adams on Detective, and you can have Jazdia Axelrod and Riley Rossmill on Batman. Batman's going to sell better. It's just that simple.
It's the title alone that
Superman
sells.
doesn't have that luxury.
No.
You can't just put anybody on there and expect it to sell. Dan Slott does not put asses in seats. Unless it's his own, in which case the seat breaks. It's going to be a terrible miscalculation. It's going to drive more people away. And I don't see where they're going to replace them with the people they want. It's just, again, I don't get how a company can continue to show signs of improvement and then find new ways to sabotage it.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either. Like I said, and they've had a history doing this and kicking good writers off of books. And Venditti on Hawkman. At least they got the 50, but now they don't. These people don't get the 50 anymore. Barely. They don't get the 50 issues. They're kicked off immediately.
Hawkman only made it to 29.
So Hawkman only made 29. Okay, Batman Beyond actually went to 50. I always thought that Hawkman went past that.
No.
Wow, that's even worse. But like Dan Jurgens was on from Rebirth all the way until when they canceled that book, because whatever reason they thought that we're on, our titles aren't doing so well. We need to cut some books. So you get rid of the ones that are probably the most popular, because there only was one Batman Beyond book at the time. And as far as I know, there's only been a couple miniseries after that, which go like for 12 issues or 6 issues, and then they're done. And I feel like DC is just, they don't know what they're doing anymore. They haven't run for like since right after whatever they brought Dan DiDio brought Bendis on, like that was the nail in the coffin for a lot of people. They
apparently are good friends.
So,
and the problem, here's the thing. New 52 was Dan DiDio's vision, and it lasted for about 6 months. Rebirth was Jeff Johns. Dan DiDio did not like that someone not named Dan DiDio put DC back to number one in market share for the short time that it was. That's why almost immediately they sabotaged Doomsday Clock.
Yep.
They brought in Scott Snyder to make everything dark metal. And then they brought in, Bendis, which cut the legs out from not only 2 quality Superman titles, but it sucked all the oxygen out of the new Age of Heroes. They've never recovered.
It's Bendis taking over Tomasi. Kicking Tomasi out, putting Bendis on the book. And you're doing the same thing. If it's the main title that Dan Slott's going on, it's the same thing with Josh Williamson being bumped off and replaced with Dan Slott.
When DC was very good back in the early 2000s, Tomasi was an editor. He eventually became a writer.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of his New 52 stuff was very good. He proved himself over and over again, and he kept getting effed over. Like I said, first on Superman, then on Detective Comics. When you take a guy with the track record of Peter J. Tomasi and you replace him with Mariko Tamaki, you know what happens? You go to Ghost Machine.
Yeah. And you lose the guy. You lose the writer. Now, yes. I don't know. The other thing is that Josh Williamson, I don't know what if his contract is up at a certain thing, and then he's just kind of, you only agree to do so many issues. Also, he's taken on running G.I. Joe. He's over, he's over there at Skybound. So maybe he just wanted to step down, and they scrambled, and they're like, "Oh, we need to get somebody," and they just got Dan Slott because they needed somebody. And these writers probably, or editors, don't even read comic books. The last book they probably read, maybe it was Dan Slott on Batman Adventures back in 2004.
Well, they probably looked at Amazing Spider-Man, and they're not smart enough to figure out that, like I said, you can put you can put any writer on that book.
Yeah.
Hell, here you could put a completely over the hill writer in Zeb Wells on there with a storyline that nobody likes,
Yep.
with maybe the most
And the
unlikable
book sells.
character that created in the 21st century, and it still sells to a degree, not like it should be and not like it could be, but
Yeah.
still better than anything. In fact, it's weird.
So
The one exception in all of this time of like I said, the only adjective that trumps amazing is ultimate, and it's happened twice. But other than that, it's I said that, and that's if you want to look at what Dan Slott brings to the table. Check the sales on his Silver Surfer run.
yeah.
Check the sales on Iron Man. Check the sales on Fantastic Four. The man does not sell comics. He's not going to sell Superman.
So the other part of this article or little tweet or they did Jade showed up apparently is that they want to relaunch it back to Superman back to #1 so it matches when James Gunn's Superman comes out. So it's gonna be stylized after James Gunn's character, and that isn't something that Dan Slott would do. Dan Slott does what he wants to do. He doesn't give a shit.
No, Dan Slott will do whatever they tell him to do.
You think they will?
Yeah, but if they're
Because
going to take
wanna,
the main, if they're going to cancel Superman and make it the movie version, wait, what's that? Ow, my foot!
We have the Iron Man.
Yeah. that will. God, what a colossal failure that's going to be.
Yeah. I feel like it's like Dan Slott would probably just bring in the Superman verse. We got Spider-Verse and Marvel. Why? He's like, guys, let's do this. It was such a huge success. And just Spider-Verse. We're going to do that with Superman. Have multiple Superman. We're going to, and it's going to be so great. We're going to work with them because they have them. DC loves the multiverse. So, yeah. And they'll have a new Supergirl or something like that. Or if Tom King lets them.
If you had wanted to have Dan Slott be able to sell a Superman title,
yeah,
they probably should have put him on the one adjective, the DC's adjective, absolute. They didn't, and
which surprised me that they wouldn't have put him on that in Elseworlds. But
they didn't have him. But either way, that is going to be a colossal misstep. But
there's only one more thing I gotta say, and it puzzles me is that DC, it was such a huge hit in the 2000s was the DC animated universe in comic books in the 90s going all the way through the 2000s, I think 2008. Why did they stop doing that? Obviously, you want kids books, that's what gets kids into comic books, the cartoon adaptions. Heck, you'll even get older writers that grew up and watched the cartoon in the 90s will come back for those. Because they have the Batman Scooby-Doo mysteries, which is really good. It's Jeff Parker, the guy who wrote Batman 66. I just understand why they wouldn't just do that but it just seems like the people who are running it are the inmates. Like it's just like they don't want to make money or they're just too stupid. They don't know what they're doing. They look at Amazing Spider-Man. Wow, that's doing really well. We should hire Zeb Wells as a writer. It's not the writer, it's the title. So, or they know it, and they're like, you know what, Dan Slott's a horrible writer, but there are some people who don't know Dan Slott is a new writer. Like, I love him. He sounds really cool. He's mentioned everywhere, so he must be well liked.
I think what happened with some of these, like at DC, and I'm just speculating here. When DC decided to care more about social engineering than telling comic book stories, all the kids' lines disappeared, and then they were slowly replaced by these YA comics, YA novels, and they weren't there to entertain. They were there to change the way children think and behave, and maybe groom them just a little bit.
Well, that's if you're going with that angle. Why not keep the Teen Titan Go comic books that are based on the current show that's still going? Because if you're looking to do that indoctrination stuff or grooming, whatever, so allegedly, you would keep the popular title that kids are watching. Like it's just I don't understand the thought process behind this.
I just don't think. I think. Well, I've said this for the last couple of years. DC, half of the company wants to tell comic book stories and sell comics.
Yeah.
The other half is just that they are activists for far left causes, and I said, and you cannot convince me that there is anything more important at DC than retconning the sexuality of as many characters.
Well, you could put the activism into Teen Titans Go with Jonathan Kent and stuff like that. You could do all that. Like I said, it's just like, man,
they buy it. They don't buy the shit now. I doubt if they. What's that?
People would buy it if you put out a Teen Titans Go book out.
No, not if you Tim Sheridan it up. They wouldn't.
People are hungry for a book right now. They got Batman Beyond out there. They're putting out there. People are buying it.
Okay,
not a lot like there would be.
Okay, you want Batman Beyond back? Okay, they bring it back, and
I suffered through Lanzig and Kelly for that first two stories, and then I finally dropped out after that. You're gonna get the people, but you're gonna get the new people who are like maybe watch the cartoon but have never read the comic books. Or maybe they have. They're coming back, and they'll check it out. They're the casuals. You're going to get those.
Activism never doesn't sell. It might sell for an issue until people realize this is shit, and then they jump right back off. Well,
they might buy for virtue signaling.
Nobody does that. That's the thing they never get. Twitter engagement is not currency unless you're a Kardashian. Anyway. Right. Let's get on to the books that we are going to be getting.
Yeah. Alrighty. Yep. Let's do that. Let's do everything you want to do. Oh, it's good.
Well, no, I believe this was your show. I'm just here helping because your old right hand doesn't deem it worth its time anymore. Apparently,
I feel like I'm the cloud and you're yelling at me.
Where is Binks tonight?
He's working. And he's not going to get around tomorrow because, it's right. The guys are wondering. Tomorrow night, we are doing a special edition of Best of the Week, 9 p.m. Eastern, because no one's going to be around Thursday, Thanksgiving. So if you can make it on Wednesday night, show up. And, yeah. Mr. Binks can't show up for you tonight. So, yeah, I know. That's how it is. I'm used to it. So anyway, I think you went first last time.
I did.
I will go first this time then. And we'll scroll down and see what gets my first one here. How far down it is. Oh yeah, the Green Arrow that's coming out this week. It actually is the Chris Condon. I'll wait to hear back from Zach what he thinks about that.
Well, Zach's going to like it because he likes the character. And he's way more forgiving than either one of us.
That is true. But, like, if that was the case, I mean, I would be picking up Black Canary, the best, but not touching that. All right. My number 5 this week is Batman Santa Claus Silent Night Returns. Give this a chance. This is Jeff Parker. And that is the reason why I'm getting a chance. We spoke about it. The bad guy did Batman 66. I think I remember the first series, but it's I have to go reread again. But Santa Claus has come to the aid of the DCU heroes in a crossover event sequel you wish for. You must have be extra good because when a remix of DC's wildest characters arrive this time to face a powerful foe. Silent Night. We got Batman. We got Damian Wayne Robin. We got Zatanna in there. Does not list the other. Well, it does. John Constantine, Mara, Nubia, Superman, Thunderheart, Iris West, number 2. Cool. Green Lantern, John Stewart. And then for all you ladies out there, there is ladies aren't reading this, guys. There you go. Because everybody wanted this, right?
Wow.
Who the hell's buying that cover?
The audience they want.
I doubt. I mean, I'd rather if I get stuck with a cover that I don't want, this would be the one. Like, at least it's more Christmassy. It's like I'm not a fan of the art, but it's all right. But I like it's got the different ornaments on here, different characters. So it's okay. So there's more detail than that. Dan Mora does also the cover here too as well, the cover B. So most likely the covers are beginning if it's Dan Mora on the covers. And then I think he also does the main cover too. No, it's Bernard Chang. That's Bernard Chang doing this one. Main cover. Is he also the interior too? No, Lucas Kettner. Never heard of him.
I haven't either.
And Mikel Bandini. And then Erica Henderson. Unbeatable Squirrel Girl. With derpy bats. That's cool. Yeah. That is my number 5 this week, though. Well, let's go to yours.
We already have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the one from last year was a lot of fun. I think Superman got possessed by Krampus. Something like that. It was just over the top fun. And yeah, so I'm back in for that. So I'm good for another round. So yeah, so you're number 4.
Are you gonna pick it up if you're stuck with the Santa Claus cover?
No.
I'll wait the reorder if I had to. Oh man. I'm shocked that there isn't more covers with the half naked Santa on there. So number 4 for this week for me is actually the issue 4 of this series. I gotta scroll down to it because it's not being pulled by a lot of people, but it is Frankenstein. More importantly, Universal Monsters featuring Frankenstein. Very fun series. It's the final issue. Final confrontation between Frankenstein and his monster. But who is the real monster? I love this. It looks just like the actual actor too. I love that. Looks like Henry. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. How it's gonna wrap up. Different covers. There's Maria Wolf 1 in 75. That's cool. All right, and then there's Stephanie Pepper 1 in 50. It's okay. Jenny Frison black and white variant. Francisco Francavilla. Isn't the guy who does the Jughead werewolf or Jughead?
Well, Afterlife with Archie.
Yeah, Afterlife Archie. Okay, that's the thing. Yeah. Another scene from the actual thing. Here's the windmill. That's cool.
Whenever I see somebody him, I always think, when I used to watch a lot of Comic Crypt of Castle Hills videos, he'd go, and a 1 in 25 variant from Francisco Francavilla. I miss the Comic Crypt.
Yeah.
Welcome back, boils and ghouls, to the Comic Crypt of Castle Hills.
It's like Svengoolie. It's like right every time they have like the horror shows.
Well, that's how I said he was the guy. His channel steered me to Gratu, and that led to the fossils. So that's.
I still don't understand why his channel got nuked. Was he wasn't sharing content? That was
he makes me look like a flaming leftist, and he liked to show the naughty bits of Playboys because he did a lot of Playboy reviews too.
Oh, okay.
So and like I said, I don't think it was that got him. I think that coupled with his politics, on a platform that does not like our politics.
Yeah,
but he's on Rumble.
Oh, cool. He's still doing stuff. You can still watch him.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. All righty, though. And hey, maybe he'll actually be able to get more viewers on there on Rumble.
Yeah, he's not. That's not really. At this point, he's not really in it for that.
I mean, hopefully, he got his audience back, which he had on YouTube.
well, as much as you can get. But
Yeah. But I mean, it says he can post more stuff on Rumble and not have to worry about it being taken down or stuff because Rumble is more free speech than YouTube is. Allegedly, YouTube. Allegedly.
But I think it was the more risque content with the Playboy stuff because Ken is very political and he's still there. So he hasn't been nuked. So he also doesn't show naked women in magazines either.
I'm just worried about Triple C. He's posting the AI songs and just waiting for somebody to get a channel strike because of that.
Cheap comic collector?
Yeah. Don't you were at the Dark Silver's Age on Saturday morning and he posted the AI videos that he was making?
I was I had to work. I work Saturday,
okay.
I usually have to duck out about 20 till.
I was watching his $2 or cheap comic whatever claim sale, and he has a new song out. Go check that out. He has a new intro song.
Okay.
So, but yeah, he uses the website. I love how, like I said, Triple C is awesome. I like him. It's like I'm becoming more of a fan of his the more I watch his content. So when he does his claims, I love how he does his claim sales. He has like the over camera, and he just just puts a comic down, puts another one there, he claims stuff. And I love it because he's having technical difficulty because he's too zoomed in, zooms out. And he's like, I love you make the joke. He's like, yeah, I'm a wizard when it comes to his AI stuff, but when it comes to actually working a camera, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I love that when you have self-deprecating humor, you can laugh. So, well, whatever. All right.
Well, yeah, I'll allow you to do many things, but rewrite the English language. If you're going to continue to, if you're going to continue to massacre the Queen's English, I'm going to be here to correct you.
I'm using the Queen's English, yes, sir.
I don't know what Queen.
Freddie Mercury.
I insulted the dead. Are you?
I didn't insult the dead. He's not voting.
Well, if he did, we know who he voted for.
Right.
Are we? Are you finished with your number 4?
Yeah.
Then I guess, assuming I don't change my mind between now and tomorrow, Superman is my number 4.
Cool. I might dip in, because I kind of want to read Superman at this point. I love Dan Morris doing the art on the book. So it's like, I love his art. It's gonna be
God, you know Dan Moore looks like? Do you remember Dante D?
Yes. Every time I see,
I don't even know if he's still alive because he just disappeared 2 or 3 years ago.
His channel hasn't been updated. His social media hasn't been updated.
Yeah. I'm afraid that something. I'm afraid it's not good.
Hopefully not. He had kids. No. Even if he didn't have kids, and it just sucks.
I really like that guy. Enjoyed streaming with him.
Tito Ortiz was another guy I had.
Yeah.
Tito's World.
Yeah. Yeah, but so I said I'm not a fan of Lois with superpowers by any stretch, and I want to see him get back to some Lex Luthor stuff because that's the thing that's kind of bringing me back at this point because it's a different way to present that character.
Her powers are going to be short-lived. They're not going to be. Yeah,
but again, listen, if it's going to be Dan Slott in 6 months, who cares?
Yeah, I know.
So that's what I'm saying.
But at least she's not like Clark. I know what I'm doing. Sit aside. It's not that crap where he's like, is this a Supergirl where I'm the better of us? You sit down, you respect me, and you praise me, worship me. We're not getting that crap. Think that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Hopefully it stays that way.
It easily could have went that way, and it didn't. All right. Yep. Yeah. Of course. Here's the Dan Binogi cover. Now I know what his politics are. Now I know why his covers are certainly there. Draws them.
Is that
supposed to be Lois Lane, but it looks like Squirrel Girl.
Is that a boy or a girl?
It's supposed to be Lois Lane. Look, see the boobs there.
No, I don't see any.
Let me zoom in.
Keep zooming. It's going to
The,
take a while.
the lines there.
Oh, I see.
The point, yeah. But I don't like the fact he gave her like buck teeth. That almost looks like it. The way he draws her lips. It's just kind of weird. Yeah. Carmine whatever it was, is Domenico. That's not the guy actor, is it?
Wait, go back there. Say
the name.
DG and Domenico. Oh, that's want to do that. All right, go on.
Yeah. So Creature Commandos. Yeah, that's their van cover, and they're at Disney World. I don't know.
What's Junkyard Joe doing on that cover?
I know, that's what I saw too. Yeah.
With Groot.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah. But yeah. And then there's a Chris Samney's starred con.
God, can you imagine if that Carmine guy had ever made it into like pro ball, trying to fit that name across the back of a jersey?
It's wasn't that the Kende Mutombo or something like that, or those guys? Some of those guys.
No, but there was a catcher named Jared Saltalamacchia. That's the most letters of any. 14 letters.
Oh, so I thought that they abbreviate them now.
Because I was watching. They do it. I was watching an AFL documentary today, and one of the innovations that league did was putting the names of all the players on the back of the jerseys, and then they showed Marty Schottenheimer. And the name literally went down both arms.
Right. So here's the Dave Johnson's cardstock variant. This looks kind of cool.
That's a cover.
That's a cover.
That's interesting, but
parody, not for sale. Do not stare directly at the sun. I kind of want these glasses now. It's a cheap gimmick, but I want them. Reminds me of the glasses that Eradicator would wear.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the cover they have going in there. Okay, so that is your number 3, sir, or 4? No, 4. Yeah,
4.
All right, my number 3, and we should probably pay attention to the chat because under coincidence he has 2 books. And then he has a retracted message, and he says, "I'm sexy Santa, and you know it." Okay, all right. Anyone remember Ash on Comics? Who? Yeah. He was the artist on Scott Snyder's best comic, Batman Black Mirrors. Heard of the title? Just never read it. But my number 3 for this week is Justice League Unlimited. You know what? It's the first issue. The worst is I could be out $4. But it's Mark Waid and Dan Mora. I'm guessing World's Finest is going to be canceled soon if they keep doing this. Or are they just going to do? Because
I'm sure he'll keep doing it. I mean,
because Mark Waid's on Action Comics as well.
Well, but he's not going to be for long because
in
another brilliant DC decision, they're giving that to John Ridley.
Yeah. But I'll just say this: I like what he does. What Mark Waid does with the World's Finest. If he keeps that same type of storytelling and writing and humor, it puts in Justice League Unlimited, I'll really like this issue. Dan Mora's art really helps out too a lot. The cast is kind of weird. You have Star Sapphire on there instead of having Green Lantern. I'm guessing this is going to tie into what's going on Jeff Johns' story, not Jeff Johns, Jeremy Adams' story with her becoming a hero.
Possibly,
but that's kind of cool if they adapt that. We got the Atom on here. We got Black Lightning. We got Wonder Woman, Captain Atom.
Okay, here's the thing. This is what I hate about DC. Captain Atom is the villain in a series going on right now.
Yes.
Does that series exist in the same universe? Does anybody care anymore? I guess we're not supposed to, but
no. Remember Wade said his writing's going to start to suck since it's Trump won. Well, as I said, I'm trying out this issue.
Well, this is pre-election, so this should still be safe.
Also, is this supposed to be Wally or Barry?
Don't know.
It's a new costume
It looks a lot like the old one, but
with black and red
oh well, I can't see that. But
and the armbands. Yeah.
maybe somebody died. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said I was going to get this. Maybe I'll change my mind. It'll depend on what kind of mood I'm in when I walk in tomorrow.
Jim Lee doing a cardstock variant with the ugly looking Martian Manhunter. What the heck? Is he a dinosaur?
They that's the way they do them now.
But holy crap, did he not? I'll get say what you think about Jim Lee. He knows a woman when he sees a woman because he drew a woman.
Yeah.
That side profile. I don't know what they're all looking at though. That's my thing.
Can you give me a couple minutes just entertain the troops? All right.
All right. Got the Watchtower. Cool. Those are cool designs. I like always looking at designs of Watchtower in the comic books. Even more. So just like Unlimited, I'm wondering if it's gonna be like the actual cartoon series where we actually have reserve members showing up. That'd be interesting to see. We got Ragdoll, or sorry, a Ragman, Swamp Thing, and then, or is that Ragman as the Spectre? That's kind of weird. Beast Boy, Wallace. Wow. Wraparound cover. Wow. That's cool. Yeah, there you go. Here's the Flash's new costume on there. Yeah, I mean, if it's okay, it's Wally's new costume. Dan drew it on, but Dan drew it on Barry. Yeah, this might be Wally. No. Yeah, honestly, I'm looking forward to this. I mean, if we're gonna have a rotating cast of characters, a helping hand, so it's not always the same 6 or 7 or however many are in the league, that'd be cool. That's what I want. There you go. That's kind of weird art. Ugh. What the heck is that? Whose art is this? Simone Bianchi. Weird art. Hey, look! Zach's art. Safe for Zach. And some more covers. Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy? What the heck? There's Barry right there. Okay. So I'm guessing it's just gonna be, and that's the only Danny St. Pierre wraparound cover. Okay, cool. It's a UV wraparound. Ultra, probably more money. Then we got the Dave Wilkinson 125. Another wraparound cover. Wow, they're just doing a lot of wraparound covers, even in the other variants. Huh. Oh, look, it's Doom. It's Darkseid. Kind of looks like Doomsday a little bit with the weird teeth. Hush, cardstock variant. 1 in 250. Who's getting that? Not me. I just right click and save as. Jeez. All right, so you guys saw the covers. What's the best cover? Bueller? Anyone there? Let me know. I'm curious. What's your favorite cover I showed so far? Me, it's the Ed Bennett's wraparound cardstock variant. That is so cool. But it's Ed Bennett's though. Is it current Ed Bennett's, or is this something they pulled out of their vault? Because I don't think Ed Bennett's gets any work at DC anymore. I bet they canceled them. Wraparounds because El Trumpo band of. I'm not gonna, dude. Quit! Don't do those jokes, man. Because if I start talking about that, it's a key word. It's gonna get me Shadow ban, bro. Action Comics will have a great team storyline, so the right team will constantly stay shifting. And that's normal. I mean, they've been doing that for how many years now? Like, the guys come in and like write 2 or 3 year issues, and then they move on. All right. Ed Benes looks great. It might be a vault picture. That's what I'm thinking it is. But because you even have what's her name in the background too? The Flores, the Wonder Girl, Yolanda Flores, I think, or I think her name is in the background next to Firestorm. And Donna's in her old costume too. Like, my thing is, like, I hope that they actually give you a rotating roster on the Justice League. But let's read their description. It says Justice League is back and bigger than ever. In the wake of the absolute power of the DC All-In special, Darkseid's death has triggered a massive power vacuum. Wait, he's dead again? Didn't they have this problem before when he wasn't a god and it caused all this mess? That's what Justice League Odyssey was to restore him to being the godhood. Batman, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman must unite like never before and expand the Justice League to encompass every hero. Okay, so championing the forces of good in the face of incredible evil. As our heroes work to uncover the mystery of the Dark Lord's successor, Ray Palmer's Atom Project triggers a race between hero and villain to control the fate of the metahuman abilities on planet Earth, which threatens to destroy everything in the League is built. Worlds will live, worlds will die, and its prize is waiting in store on the last page. Do not miss the dawn of the new era of the Justice. It all begins here. Wow. This sounds like an absolute title, isn't that? Because it just sounds weird to me. And Nick Quinn says, "Yeah, my internet is crapping out." Well, RIP to your internet. F in the chat for you. Your Flower is going to use her. Honestly, I don't mind the character. A lot of these characters, I don't mind them. Like Wallace, when he first appeared on the thing and they didn't have Wally, that pissed me off. But they brought Wally back. We got great years with Joshua Williamson writing The Flash with Wally. And we had Jeremy Adams, and now Wallace is basically being back to equivalent of basically like being what was that tie-in that he did with him? He had his own thing. Heroes in Crisis. Yeah, that's basically what his book feels like right now. Put in your forger in the Justice League and said your forger. Yeah, I just want a random Amish dude just being on the team. No powers whatsoever. His only power everything he has is he's Amish. Why not? It's newish because the beard on Alan Scott has been around for the last year-ish. Yeah, I was wondering that too because Alan Scott has his beard on in this cover. So I'm thinking it might be an actual new print for them. So, I mean, Ed Benes getting work at DC? I mean, it's just a cover. He hasn't done the interior that I know of or he's working on. But honestly, that's a good sign to me that DC might be shifting back to good. But if Dan Slott's going on Superman, it's like it just feels like we're trading the good for the bad, and then we're just going back and forth, But Ed Benes needs to be back on the interior. You can see Starfire back there, and her 2 giant knockers. See, he threw it in there. I love that. I love Ed Benes. He's like Wally Wood in that sense. He just basically pushes it as far as he can go before somebody notices and complains. We got Dr. Light in their background too. We got a lot of cool characters. I just wish we showed me the back of the cover. It only shows the front of the wrap run cover. So you know what? I was thinking about that too. Yeah, you're like, yeah, Dan Slott going on the Action Comics books. I hope he is. Because I don't mind him on there, But it worries me out. Who's going to be on Superman comic books if they're going to relaunch it to number 1? Josh Williams staying on it, and it's just going to do a Jed McKay thing where you're on the same title, but they keep rebooting it to back to 1 and just changing the title. It'd be Like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm very conservative about what I buy from DC as far as Marvel. It's not like I used to be. I used to just drop like a lot of money and be on one company, one publisher. Now I'm kind of like, this indie book looks a lot better. It's a roughly might be a little cheaper. You know, $3.99 is still expensive. I want to go back to $2.99. It'd be great, but um, yeah, I'm not buying as much DC as I. It may seem like it. I have like bursts where titles are all come at the same time, so it looks like I have a bunch. But I think the most probably getting Jeremy Adams' Green Lantern. I'm gonna try this one out. So, but yeah, the only ongoing I've been getting from DC has been the Green Lantern. So I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I'm also not a huge. This will be my first Justice League book for me buying personally. I've never really bought Justice League books, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, Breen's back. I don't think he's probably still on mute.
I'm here. And I was gonna that Ed Bennis thing you were talking about just now.
Yeah.
That's basically homaging his own cover from 18 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell the difference between what they let him get away with then and
Wonder Woman in the front was, or where that wasn't there in the front was, she was Donna Troy, wasn't as big, but you saw Starfire in the back.
But I said I've got that poster of that cover, and the boobs were so big that it keeps pulling the poster off the wall.
See, he's hanging up with a bra.
No, I finally gave up. There wasn't anything I could do. I did everything short of nailing it to the wall. I think some pipes must run through there in the heat. It's like this is probably why it falls. But I can't get to stay. I use those super stick things where the Velcros. I still won't stay up.
Yeah, jeez.
All right, so where do we leave off?
Well, that was my number 3. We talked about it. This might be a good title. If they stick with it, it's like for those who watch the Just League Unlimited cartoon. I was talking about how basically it is. It sounds like they're gonna have a rotating cast. It's not gonna be always the main cast, which I don't mind. Because they're gonna have reserves. But the one problem is they said that Darkseid's dead, and I brought up Just League Odyssey. Remember when Darkseid died before last time, where you're stuck on the Source Wall, how it screwed up everything. And then now it's like they Just League Odyssey return him back to godhood. So I'm like, what are they gonna do now? It's like it just sounds like they're just repeating the same steps over and over again. So, but I said it's my first Justice League book. I do hope that it turns out well. But
while we're on the subject, I see Wonder Woman front and center there.
Yeah,
isn't she kind of like a terrorist now with her team of Wonder Women terrorists and over in Tom King's book? I mean,
I don't know if that's still the plot going. Those original plot that the Amazons were outlawed from basically being in America.
And I'm sure that nothing going on in any of the characters that have ongoing titles. I'm sure nothing going on in any of those has anything to do with anything going on here.
Yeah. So absolute, but absolute
now.
But Absolute's Elseworlds. That's a little different Wonder Woman.
No, the Tom King Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
That's not Absolute.
No. Here on the right here, I think they're trying to compare the two books.
Oh no. I'm saying that how can you have Wonder Woman front and center on a Justice League team when she's basically become a terrorist? I said it's
because there's no continuity. It's not.
Why do I care?
It's not. Jeanette Kahn's not in charge anymore. They're not actually putting effort into this. You don't have editors being fired for not doing their jobs. You don't have writers being let go because they're not putting out what they want to sell. It's all hire who you know, not hiring talent.
Well, Paul Levitz was good at his job, even. But it's just those days are over. Anywho, my number 3.
Yeah.
Going to Hyde Street. Very enjoyable first issue. Looking forward to This one, what else you really say? It's well, as we read it, yeah, I like the pranky character.
Do you see what's on the ground? The dog's chewing on an arm. And there's a guy on fire, in front, the bartender.
Yeah, and since I doubt if it'll make any, I doubt if it's on your top 5, but yeah, Hornsby and Halo come out tomorrow, so there's 2 Ghost Machine titles.
Yep. No, this is actually on my top 5. This is my number 2, bro.
No, I'm talking about Hornsby and Hyde.
Yeah, that's on my pull list.
Or Hornsby and Hand.
Or at least not Halo. My top 5.
Whatever the Hornsby and whatever the hell.
Hornsby and Halo.
Yeah, that.
I didn't really care.
Sorry, Amy, not the Halo you want.
You're right. This Halo has better hair. Mr. X-Ray. Variants. And then there's this color. What the heck? That's funny. Boy Scout on a mission to destroy a corrupt cop and all the other authority figures he get his hands on. But who's Frankie and where did he come from and what's his favorite knot to tie? So we get an origin story for Frankie. Cool. Nice. The Scream, yeah. What else we got in the chat here? Who's going to keep Dan Slott in his place? Well, Dan Slott will keep himself in a place. He can't move. He's too fat. Gravity. Superman was recently launched, so they might not reboot unless the creative team changes. Batman might get relaunched, though. Yeah, that's true. Superman was just relaunched earlier this year.
So. I don't think they care anymore. I really don't.
Well, there's my thing. Are they going to do the Marvel thing? Like I said, they're going to change the title or keep the same person on there. Josh Williams stays on, or they kick somebody else off. Or they're just going to keep going back to number ones. Go for 15 issues, 15 issues, go back to 1. It just seems like it's just what they. DC always copies freaking Marvel. Like I said, I'd be surprised if somebody who if the way that both companies are run, might as well just be owned by the same person. Wouldn't you think? But
well, I will say the difference between DC and Marvel right now is if you look at the individual titles, DC does have several really good books.
Yeah.
Marvel has one. I know you can make a case for Moon Knight and a handful of other things, but Ultimate Spider-Man is to me the only legitimately solid book that company's producing right now.
Did you hear what I said earlier? When I said it's just like Unlimited needs to have an Amish superhero. No power. He's just Amish. That's his one power.
Well, I thought their power would be to build small houses for North Carolina hurricane victims that the government shuts down.
They're good at building things. It's like they're basically make forage Amish.
And I heard about that the other day. It made me sick.
Well, he's not. Is he the new furry?
No. So the Amish went down to North Carolina and built 100 tiny homes for hurricane victims.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, the government kicked them out because they weren't up to code. So the street is better than shelter. These bureaucrats fucked up logic.
Who kicked them? The feds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or local government. I don't know.
At this point, these people need to form their own militia and just kick the government out.
I said it's.
And let these people live.
Bureaucracy.
If you're not getting your any food or help from the government, other people are, then you don't need the government. That's why I look at it.
All right, so what's your number 2?
Also, real quickly, Trusty, you said you asked me if I knew who that is. Are you talking about your character, your Florager, or something else? So,
Yeah.
Things are right.
That's just, yeah. God bless Scott Pressler.
Yeah, this is my number 2. Like I said, out of the new books coming out, this looks really awesome. The Hornsby Halo thing, I read the preview thing. It didn't really do anything for me at all. I liked it less than the Rockefellers. So
Well, but I said good writers can make things that you may not ordinarily be interested in interesting, and bad writers can make slam dunks into misses. So I mean, I'm going to give it a shot.
I'll grab it just to check it out, and mostly I think if it takes off in value, I'll have the first issue. So, all right, that this was also my number 2. So,
So my number 2 was your number 4.
oh really?
We already talked about Frankenstein. So your number
Frankenstein.
1's Frankenstein, and so your number 1, sir.
My number 1 is probably the same one you have.
Why? I bet you it is.
I bet you. I'd be shocked.
Is it long and last?
Well, it is the last of the books they're talking about for new books. My last book is. Let me scroll down because the heathens don't have it at the top. Batman: The Long Halloween, sir.
There are less people buying that, according to League of Comic Dorks, than Flash.
Well, as we've been told before by some people in the chat, that this company, Legal Comic Geeks, people who used to work, the moderators, lean left. So who knows? Maybe they're throttling who people are. And I treat Legal Comic Geeks like Twitter. Not everybody has it. Not everybody uses the account. So the ones that are on there, maybe they are more left leaning politics. I don't care. I just use it for storing as far as catalog of all my books I have. But Jeff Loeb, awesome writer. Said after reading Batman the Long Halloween last year on the channel, and then we read Dark Victory, the sequel this year. Last Halloween reading this is so much fun. I have not read the Batwoman or Catwoman one in Rome or Order of the book. I do have the hard copy of it. I just never got around to actually reading the book. Now I'm gonna go check it out because when we read the Long Halloween, it was okay. But as soon as I got to the Dark Victory, I just realized, especially now, it's been like about a year difference seeing what's coming out. I appreciate his writing more. The way he writes it. The biggest part for me was Tim Sale's art. I was never a huge fan of Tim Sale's art, and that kind of ruined the book for me a little bit. But now I've gotten used to it, and I just, and just like, so I love the storytelling. This is probably one of the last times you're going to have an Elseworlds Batman story where a Batman, and it's close to year 1, where it's actually really good. It's not hindered by anything that's going on in the current, stuff. It's not modernized. It's just cool writing. But says as the news tightens around Gotham City, Robin seeks aid from an unlikely ally. And Batman confronts a deadly specter from his past. Mark Chiarillo is the artist for this.
Not familiar with him.
No, honestly, I don't know who he is either. He worked on Gotham Knights, apparently. Did some work on there too. Devil's Workshop, Elseworlds. Okay, so he did some. That's okay. All right, that's what he is. All right. So here's his variant cover. He did. So you get a look at preview of his art. Didn't know the Riddler as well. Almost 6 feet. And then we have Arthur Adams variants. I'm liking these variants. What do you think?
I mean, I like him, but I said
the concept, the giant pumpkin.
Yeah, I just go back to I say that. Yeah, you think 6 months down the road, and there, that was so many variants ago, and they're sitting in a box. I mean, I buy very few variants, and they're great in the moment, but I think variants help bad books more than they. Like I said, I'm going to get this either way. I kind of like this. If it were a one and one regular price, I probably would get that. But I'm
It being
there's too much stuff out there still to get for me to overpay for a new comic because of the cover. Because again, I just apply the 6-month rule to it.
I really love the main covers and I love the meaning behind them because it actually is the last new art you're going to see from Tim Sale. Kind of sad.
Yeah, I almost wish there weren't variant covers because I like for everybody to get Tim Sale's art one more time.
Yeah.
But I guess that's neither here nor there. But
yeah. What does the 5156 mean though? I said when they do that, so the art 5156.
I probably should know that, but
Trusty, do you know what that is? When they put a code on there, 5156. Is that his birthday, 1956?
No idea.
Yeah. What's going on here is as far as we got on the chat here. Undead Quinn says number 2 is Feral, number 8, and his number 1 is Feral, number 8. So he has the same book twice listed. I'm trade waiting. Okay, so you're waiting for the trade. All right.
And Mariko Valkonen's talking about food.
So Trusty, down here under Tim Sale's name, it says 5156 right here on the bottom corner. What is that number? Is that something that artists normally put under there, or is it something totally different? You don't know. Yeah, I'm curious about that because I've never seen. Well, we've seen it before in some of the books in Marvel back in the day. You'd see numbers under the name. I'm just curious. Tim Sale's birthday. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, that's what I was wondering. So.
Oh, May 1st, 1956. Okay, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's what he's saying. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Looking forward to this. Like, this is my favorite ongoing series right now. I'm kind of sad that the Kryptonian Age, Batman, Gotham, and Gaslight is on pause or hiatus. Because if I only had to get 2 books from DC, it would be this and the Kryptonian Age.
Well, Batman Robin Year 1 would be tough to give up all.
I know. But I mean, like, I got this. I think this is better than Batman Year 1.
Yeah, probably.
So
no, it just occurred to me that Mariko and Maranya had the same number of syllables. Now I've already eaten, so at least it's not making me hungry for a change.
Yeah, but just looked it up. Lucky guess. Yeah, because that's what I was wondering too. But his birthday is like 56. I'm like, is he that old, or was that old?
Yeah.
There, I'm talking about comics, Eric. Happy now.
If you think about it, that would make him. I mean, he'd have been 67 if he were still alive. So, or 68.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, that's what I saw earlier. I saw something talking about chocolate something. That was Marania.
Shoe fly pie.
Is that pie out of a shoe?
Ask Mariko Valkonen to tell us.
You gonna have turkey in a big brown boot.
All right, let's go to the trades. Well, I cross my fingers that I don't have any. There's nothing to.
All right. So coming out this week, Batman might. No, I'm not getting that. How dare you put David Finch, Michael Janin on there, and Jordi Belair?
What's the DC Finest the Flash? What is that like? Showcase 4 through like early issues of the Flash.
Kubert, Infantino, Broom. Yeah. 56 through 61, the DC Finest Flash. So Flash 1950 from 1958 goes 105 to 123
Yeah.
and Showcase 4, 8, 13, and 14.
I really like these issues. I mean, they're simple, but they're fun. I said this would definitely be a recommend for people that don't have. I mean, it's you ain't getting the Wally West Flash. You're not even getting later Barry, but these are fun.
I
in their own
recommend it for
way.
people who've never heard of Wally West. This is the peak until you heard of Wally
Well,
West.
no, I mean this is oh God, no, this is
No,
not the peak, but it's comic book history. I mean, because
I,
Showcase number 4 kicked off the Silver Age.
I'm just joking
So,
because Evil Black Cat's in the chat. And he hates Wally West. Yeah, yeah. Barry was peak until Wally said, "Hold my beer and my boots, bro."
but $40 for that's not bad.
No, I said.
I'm guessing I'm guessing it's not glossy paper either, which is
No,
fine.
and it's. I mean, it's not a compact either.
Mm.
Although I do like the compacts because of the price.
Yeah, but again, let's say that's like 23 issues for
Yep.
$40.
Yeah. So this includes the first appearance of the Rogues, Captain Cold, Mirror Master, Mirror Governor, and Gorilla Grodd.
Glad you corrected yourself.
I know. I'm. It's just the way I am, bro. It's just like I was born white, so I gotta apologize for everything.
Glad to see you're seeing it the right way, and by that I mean left.
All right. Zach? Yeah, it is Cantwell LaRocca. So honestly, that's probably the best Cantwell book I've ever read.
What?
The Doctor Doom one.
Oh.
Because he somehow he went from evil to somehow becoming good and couldn't help it until he found out why towards the end. And then he just goes back to being badass Doom. X-Men 97. Really, really good tie-in to the series. Steve Fox, of all people, shocking, wrote a good X-Men book that fills in the gaps between the episodes. Mainly because he's probably told, he's like, you write this shit or you're out, because we want, because it has to be exactly like the actual show.
Right. Well, this might get read by people that watch the cartoon, which is a much bigger audience, which means they can't do the weirdo. No, I'm not weird. That's
it takes in between the episodes.
Yeah.
So it's like it actually starts off or ends with the episode, and then it continues to the next episode. So I liked it really good. The art was good too. There's the first one, Batman Silent Night, right there.
Yep.
$18. And then there's Moon Man, Junkyard Joe, hardcover deluxe, $35. Deluxe size. Ooh. I think it's the absolute size, the one I want. That's the bigger one. It's hard to tell. The Cult, Batman the Cult, out here. That's Jim Starlin.
Good series, and Bernie writes an art.
Yep. How do you know? Did you ask E?
Yeah. Well, it isn't according to E. No.
Okay. JSA Compendium 1 is coming out too as well. For $60. Superman the Exile and Other Stories Omnibus hardcover. This is this year's edition. I think it came out probably 2000s, early 2000s.
I do not know.
But because I remember seeing on before on one of the pirate sites. That's what I mean. It was a trade format though. I don't know if it's ever been an omnibus form though. Maybe it was. This might have been the only one. Actually, you know what I think about? This actually might have been the only actual collection of the Superman stories. In other than the John Byrne Man of Steel hardcover books. But $125. If you can't afford to go to your comic book shop and pay, maybe get 20% discount if you go to your shop. If not, go to In Stock Trades. Support that book.
Just out of curiosity, do your LCSs still bring in omnibuses?
Once in a while.
Yeah, ours doesn't, but for that reason.
They have a lot of trades though. They put trades in that.
No, trades are competitive.
Yeah. So,
but when you're getting into triple figures,
sure,
and somebody will sell it to you for half of that,
so
you're not. I don't care how loyal you are.
what they have on the shelf right now, in stock, are the Invincible on the business. They're up on they're up on the high shelf, and they've been there for a while. When they were coming out 2 years ago or 3 years ago, they had the 20th anniversary, which are now insanely priced. Now they were $50 each, but now they're worth more than that. Online, but yeah, like I said, they do get some on the business in. Midnight Suns was actually really good. That was another good book for Blood Hunt. Thor: The Eternal Saga.
This is a very forgotten period of Thor.
Thomas Grunwald, Ralph Macchio, Buscema, Pollard, or Poland. I can't read that.
Keith Pollard.
That's the Dune book, Volume 1, Death of Wolverine, if you care about that stuff. But Heretic, I think that's the one that Geeky was buying or reading or something like that. I remember that. I thought it was him. Warren Ellis, Desolation Jones. Huh. Then sort of Conan. Jeez. 150. The Complete Darkness, Volume 3 trade.
So far, so good.
I don't think there's anything here that you're going to want.
That's why I said so far, so good.
Oh, don't look at the manga. You'll have to buy it. That's it.
Oh, wow. Good. I might have to pick up some supplies so I have stuff to bag and board whatever I pick up next Sunday.
I gotta go back on the BCW website again. They got new products. I'm looking at those drawer shelves. The long boxes. You can just pull them out. Drawers.
Yeah, they call them garages. I've got those, but I've got them in short box form.
Yeah.
Because do you remember the band The Flaming Lips?
Yes.
When we bought one of the guys from that band, we bought his Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
And nice guy. He had to pay his ex-wife stuff, but he had another hottie with him because rock and roll. But he kept a lot of them in those comic garages, and I kept some of them.
Yep.
But I said I've tried to do it with the long boxes. I ended up throwing them away. Too hard to mess with, unless you could put stack them on top of each other and use the weight to keep them in place. But I didn't have enough to do that. That might be worth. You keep the first. If you like elevate the first row and then just stack them on top of that,
right? That
would probably work. But it's also when you pull them out, you kind of like have to use your body to keep it from tilting. It's short boxes are better all around.
I believe me, I can't carry a long box anymore. I tried the other day and I'm like, I said nope, because I still have some long boxes, so I just emptied them out and put them some short boxes.
Yeah, Jay, there's a show in Dayton 4 times a year, and it's no frills, $5 to get in, no guests, no bullshit. It's just comic book dealers.
Maranya, you say LaRocca is wasted on Cantwell, and any other book, sure, but that book was actually one of Cantwell's best writings.
People love his Plastic Man, so maybe the more on the fringes his projects get, the better he is. Well, yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, but
Jay, I figured that'd be right up your alley. It's hopefully it's good because I'm passing up a chance to go to Columbus to meet up with Joe. But yeah, the urge to get back issues when I really can't afford to go to the Columbus show anyway.
But yeah, when there's the camel. The story, was it good? Was it bad? It was mid.
Hmm.
But yeah, I liked it because you had freaking Doctor Doom coming out of come from the distance. You see the guy look. These guys are camping in the middle, middle of like outside Latveria, and there's snow and they're on the ground. All of a sudden, you see this shadow. What is this? It's bear. It's this big old grizzly bear that Doctor Doom had pretty much tamed. Put a freaking saddle on it. Was riding it towards where these people were held up. The last of his loyal generals, because basically Doctor Doom got kicked out of his own castle because they found a lost heir, the real, king. So he had stepped down because he didn't want to deal with Avengers. So after this, and he basically comes back, finds the guy who betrayed him, and he's like, I'll give you a head start. He's like, you may go. He runs, and the guy, you see the old guy running in the snow, running away. Gets to the distance. Doom takes his the rifle and just shoots him. And he's like feed his carcass to my bear. I'll never forget that now. But yeah, it was a really like nerfed Doctor Doom though. I'll say that though. But all right. He says Brian says all the Conan omnibuses are on my list, dude. I don't have attachment to the older stuff. I never really read it. If I did, I probably would be like all over those. But I mean, I'm having just fun with the new stuff by Jim's Up.
Brian's saying that BCW is where he gets his plastic short boxes. The short boxes are great because I can still lift those pretty easily. Problem is, I took all my DCs from post crisis through, I guess 20 up through like Flashpoint,
mm-hmm.
and I've just built an island of boxes in the middle of one of my comic rooms. That's great, but the next time I have to file, I'm screwed. And if I want something off the bottom, that's at the bottom, I still have to move 3 boxes out of the way to get to it. So yeah, I mean, if I had, if money wasn't an object, I would get all those kind of like restaurant shelves, like the metal ones that or the like garage type you put gardening shit on, and go that way because it's. But I that's never going to happen at this point. So
I liked Jay's setup. He's got him on the muscle racks. He showed the other day.
But I mean, I've got well into 3 figures of short boxes.
Yeah,
and it would get expensive as hell to get shelves for them all.
I've got them. I've got all my BCW boxes. I get them. I get them from my shop. They're $7. They don't cost that much. Now the other ones here are like here. These are all stacked up here. Those are the plastic ones.
Yeah.
Those are about $26 a piece at the shop.
I wish that we sold the BCW ones because they're like an extra 2 inches.
Yeah.
And that because short boxes, when you bag them and board them, you get a little over 100 in them.
Mm-hmm.
And I like to be able to get like another 20 in there, but what are you gonna do?
I'm just happy I have the boxes because a lot of times, like I've gone to shops and it's like they don't have the box at all, or they have is the long box. I want a long box. I started out with long boxes until I threw my back out, and then the first time I was like, you know what? They got short boxes. It's cheaper, and I'm not paying as much, and I can just they're easy to carry.
And the reality is, a long box full of newsprint, I can still move those no problem all day long. But the newer comic, the glossy pages, I can't. I mean, I was carrying a box of all glossy comics at the warehouse, and it literally the box turned into a V. I mean, the boxes aren't even made to support that much weight.
Yeah, I don't do that. Even with the newsprint regular stuff, I don't want to lift those. I'm at my shop. When I want to go through the box, I'll sit on the floor because I'm like, I'm not going to try it. I pull out the shelf, I drop it down one at a time, And I'm like, I barely want to pull those out just to get the Donald Duck books. I'm like, can't you just put this on the top so I can just go through the top parts? They used to be, but yeah, if I want to get all the good like the 4-color fossils books, I got to go on the middle shelf.
When the old man owned the shop, all that stuff was on top.
Yeah.
When he retired and I got there, we ended up phasing them underneath, which sucks because the people that want those can't really get down there to look at them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also, the reality is you can't use that prime real estate for something that only a handful of people are into.
True.
It sucks. I mean, it's like, I mean, I understood why we did it. I didn't like it, but that's why I talked the guy into selling me the romance section. I mean, realistically, we should have kept them, but I wanted them, and they were off the floor. No one ever saw them, and
Right.
so.
I was looking right now to see if there's any actually variants coming out. I mean, not variants, but I mean like facsimiles. I'm not seeing any facsimiles.
Next week, or within the next 2 weeks, Flash Comics #1, Green Lantern 59, First Guy Gardner, and Captain America 117. No, Brian, it certainly is not.
All right, so there's no facsimiles this week. Crazy.
No, not this week, but the next couple weeks.
It doesn't feel like there's been like facsimile every week.
I haven't noticed as much because I don't generally get a lot of them because I either have the actual books or
sure, but you see them on the shelves, you see them, you see them in the thing. It's it felt like League Gom Geeks and artists on the shelves. I was like, there was one every week coming out. It just seemed like, or every other week there's a new one.
Yeah, but you tend not to notice if it's not on your radar.
Yeah. So when I got to the shop, I was like, "Is a facsimile this week?" Like last week, they had one for I think it was for Spider-Man. They had one. Yeah. I don't know. I like those old school detective facsimiles they've been releasing. The ones I know like I'm never gonna afford. The ones from the early 40s. Early late 40s,
Yeah, no, those I'll get all day long.
Yeah, like I want the early detectives, I want the early Batman, I want that stuff.
I just read a
first appearance of Penguin. I want
back
that.
In the early 2000s. DC had a book, had a collection called Millennium, and they published about 60 of them. And I read More Fun Comics 73, and it was like the first appearance of a couple characters. I've already forgotten who they are because I'm senile. But it was so much fun.
I just want them to go reprint or collect the Jay Garrick books into an omnibus or something like that. Combine it with the Hawkman if you want to. Do the Flash comic books in an omnibus form.
I don't think those would work in omnibus, but what I think they would work is like that Flash that you showed earlier.
Yeah.
Now the books were 2-3 times as big in those days, and I would like them as is and not just the Flash stories.
No, but I want Flash Hawkman. I would love that.
Yeah, I just don't think we're ever going to see
Cliff.
that.
I want Cliff.
Yeah, that's Action Comics.
Cliff Cornwall?
Wasn't he in Action Comics?
He was in with the Hawk.
Oh, so he was in Flash?
Yeah, he was in Flash back in the day. Hawkman Flash, back in the early days, the Golden Age. So he was in there. Once the days you get older, long boxes get harder to lift. Dude, long boxes, I'm turning 40 and I'm like, I don't even want to do them. It's like, yeah, I'm at the point I'd be afraid, like if I put like I have a muscle rack upstairs in my attic and walking in there. I'm afraid if I put my comic books all in one spot, it's just gonna go right through the floor on a shelf like that. So I mean, like the only option I have would be my basement, and I really don't want to put books down in my basement because even though it's dry down there, I just don't like the idea of bugs crawling around in it.
My first house, had a basement, and it was I did have comic boxes down there,
Yeah.
but the stairs were more like a ladder, like in those old houses where.
I have steep cement steps.
And I
half,
have
they're half steps.
no idea how I got those down there.
Yeah. I have breezeway, and people are like, "What the hell's a breezeway?" Well, back in the day, they used to take a garage and the house, and they'd actually they build this little room connecting. It goes into your garage, and then you had your house, and the other little section there. You had a front door and a back door, and then in that you also had basement access going into your basement. And that's what I have. It's an old school house. The house was built around 1911 or 1912, right around there. That's how old my house is. So I love the basement steps because they haven't eroded as like people have outdoor cellar access. You see the concrete's gone, and you just kind of slide down. My steps are still steep though, but like I said, like I'm putting boxes down there, like I said, like I don't want to deal with chance of if I ever get a mouse down there, he's chewing on my comic books. That's my biggest fear. Is that like I could probably put them into like the BCW ones, the plastic hard, those they might keep it better than putting in the cardboard, because cardboard after a while, it can get kind of nasty looking. But yeah, once the dude says my house was built in the '60s and I have a breezeway, see, that's cool because whenever I say like I have a breezeway, and people are like, "What the hell's a breezeway?" Because most people have a garage and then they have a house. And the garage is attached to the house. There's nothing in between. It's just.
My uncle had a house that was.
Yeah.
It wasn't. There was. He had the house. Then the garage was detached, but the roof went across. So you could at least not have the elements hit you.
Yeah.
If you just drove up into the like I guess guests and whatnot. It was really cool. I would have bought my uncle's house. It had been so far out of the way, and the neighborhood was deteriorating. That's why I left my house. It was the neighborhood was getting a little dicier, but
I hear you.
God, it's for one person, because it had the bedroom was a loft, and it was really cool.
It's a lot of room.
Well, that was the entirety of the second floor was just the loft bedroom. And it wasn't that big of a house. I mean, the basement was huge,
Yeah.
But it was at this point, at my age, it'd be useless to me now because I said going up and down those stairs, regular stairs, still all right. Ladder steps, nah, baby, nah.
Yeah.
Because I could use 2 new knees anyway, but.
Yeah, I gotta buy some more shelving downstairs, and I'll probably I might put my boxes down there. Like I said, I put them in the plastic bins. Those lock, and nothing's really gonna go in there. I seal my books up in plastic, so nothing's gonna be able to crawl inside there, eat and feed on the glue or any of that stuff. Because that's what I know about silverfish. Silverfish will feed on the glue of any bindings of books you have, and they'll just then they lay their eggs, and it's just like ugh. Yeah, ugh. No, gross. Yeah, we brought back something from my great aunt's house, and we think that's maybe that's how they got into our house that one summer. The other thing was
we got our link, by the way.
Oh, did we get a link? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I completely forgot about that. Anyway,
I forgot what we're doing, but yeah, we're doing it.
All right, guys, you know the drill. If you haven't done so, click like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Please, everyone here, there's about 10 people watching. Leave a comment. Just say hi. That's all you got to do. It helps out the algorithm, lets people know that this channel exists, and we get more people to talk to in the chat. That's always good.
Yeah. So, and everybody follow us over at I Love Comics. We're ranking something. I don't remember what, but
food.
I don't know if tonight's food covers or not. It might be.
It might be.
All right, guys. Well, later. Good night, kids.
And we'll see you tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern. The best week. Bye-bye.